You are live. Well, I like being live. Okay. So, anyway, good day, everyone. So I wasn't on yesterday, no streams yesterday, but I was just emotionally drained. Like I was completely knackered. And that. But today, feeling much better. And that. And the one topic that I chosen for today, believe it or not, hey Tinker, is actually based on one of my, I can't say one of my newer groups, but a group that I came up with back in late fall or something like that last year. And that is called The Haunted History of the British Royal Family. Now, when it comes to the monarchy itself, it's very close to my heart. And that not just because of who the Queen is and Prince Philip and his family, but because of the leaders, the kings, the queens, the monarchs of the past. I found them to be the most incredible people, and because I'm Irish, Scottish, and Welsh in my background, and that, but I don't know, I feel a very strong spiritual connection with Great Britain, and I might not have any connection with the royal family, not that I know of, but I do feel a connection with Great Britain, and I've always been fascinated by the UK in general, because there's so much history. In fact, to my knowledge, the earliest recorded activity over there, to my knowledge, go back to just past Roman times. And I find that just absolutely fascinating. And then when I got into the spiritual side of it, and especially all the kings and queens of the past and what they went through, and I don't know, all the secret stuff that they went through and stuff. I don't know, I found it to be incredibly fascinating in that. And luckily for me as a medium in that, I've had a chance to make a link with some of the kind of well-known individuals, and that, like the one individual that I did have a link with about a year ago, I found to be incredibly interesting, but incredibly brief, and that was the man himself, and that King Henry VIII, and that this guy, according to a lot of people, even though he was a great king, he was also a great tyrant, especially the way he treated his wives. And if his wives couldn't produce an heir, they were basically executed. And I thought, nice guy. And then there's Queen Victoria, and the one individual that I've had a pleasure to have a link with a couple of times, and this person is very open-minded, I find, and she's always very curious, about different things, especially even with her being in, even with her being in spirit form, and I would consider her the overseer of what's going on, and that in modern times, because she lived in modern times, and that, like I said, it's a queen mom, and I admire her big time. I consider her the spiritual babysitter, nanny, but the general overseer of the family. And sure, there's been some things that she's approved of and certain things that she has not approved of, but she's just basically just a spectator, more or less. And And then there's another individual that I admire her as well. And a lot of people, well, there's mixed feelings about what she did and that's Princess Diana. You know, like I haven't had a link with her, but I've seen of what she's been doing, and she's just basically she's watching her children and her grandchildren. Later on, yeah. Boss just asked me something, but that, but you know, she was a person that was, in my opinion, she was a person of a pure heart, and that, but she had a compassionate heart, especially for those who didn't have a voice. That, and that's why they called her the People's Princess, is because just that she had such compassion for other people, especially people with different kind of ailments, like for instance AIDS, and that she had real compassion for them. And I found that she actually had more compassion towards the poor than she had compassion towards the royal family, and that, and to me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because, you know, even though you're part of the royal family, you need to have compassion for those who are, you know, unfortunate in society. And God knows there's lots of those and that. And a lot of people looked up to Diana. Well, I sure did. And that, just like the Queen Mom. A lot of people looked up to her. So do I. I think she's amazing. And that. And now, when it came to Queen Victoria, um, she was a very strong-willed person, very strong in mind, and that. But unfortunately, with the death of her husband, and that she really went into a really deep depression, and that because to me, when it came to Queen Victoria, and that I found that um, her husband was her everything, you know, like almost her backbone kind of idea. And this guy was absolutely brilliant when it came to different traditions within the royal family, and that. And even I haven't seen Queen Victoria's husband. I haven't seen him. I had a link with him about what I've researched about him, and that I admire him. You know, I think he's brilliant. You know, because some of the uh, ideas he came up with, he was also very good with numbers, and that like he was a very good accountant. You know, and uh, I don't know. I just like I said, there are certain individuals in history that I really looked up to, and that even when it comes to all the queens that were once the wives of Henry VIII, and that I found that they got a really raw deal when it came to not so much their marriage, but what's expected of them. Because some of them, you know, were executed because they couldn't bear, you know, an heir. And I thought, well, don't those women have a right to live or have any rights at all? Well, unfortunately, back then they didn't. It was the king himself. He was the only one that had any real say in it, anything. And of course, I think it was either one or two wives that because their marriages were not legally uh, done, they were annulled, and that. So basically, you know, oh, you can't have a son from me? Okay, I don't know you. I thought, it's not the wife's fault she couldn't bear an heir. Come on, give me a break. But you know, really feel sorry for those who could bear an heir, so they lost their lives, and that they didn't have a say. You know, that's pretty pathetic. But you know, that's the way it was back then, and that. But of course, watching how the things go on with the monarchy today, and that. So it's controversy. It's absolutely unbelievable. But you know, the one person I admire the most is the Queen herself. You know, like just going what she's had to endure over the years. She's amazing, and that. And her husband Philip, you know, the guy is what 99 years old, and he's still going strong. And I know he's failing in health and that, but that's amazing. And I have wondered, will Prince Philip, will he actually make the physical older than the Queen Mum? The Queen Mum was, I think, 101 or 102 when she passed. And that I have wondered if Prince Philip just might surpass that age milestone. I hope he does, actually. Or even if he passes at the same age, to me, that would definitely hit the history books if Prince Philip actually, when he passes, and that he was older than the Queen Mum. To me that'd be absolutely amazing. But last time I saw Philip, and that his aura was still like, it's not as strong as it has been in the past, but he's still got a strong aura. So his energy field is still going, and that it's just that it's not quite as strong, but it's still active, and the Queen, she still got a strong aura about her. Like, wow, like, it's absolutely amazing what that he's been through over the decades. And but anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do just a little quick chat about my view of the royal family. What those for those who are in spirit, what they're up to, what they're doing, and I found the two of the most active ones that I've been made aware of is the Queen Mum and Princess Diana. But the one I admire the most is the Queen Mum, and that she was a motherly figure in the physical, and she's still a motherly figure in spirit. And of course, every time I make a link with her, and I see her in my mind's eye, and she always appears a little bit younger than when she passed, and she looks absolutely dazzling, and of course, the one thing that I made this mistake so many times, and I'm not being disrespectful to them or to the memory of that, but I've had to keep reminding myself, if I address them, even in spirit, I have to address them the same way as if they're still in the physical. Okay, I just can't spiritually walk up to say, "Hey, Mom," and that's against royal protocol, and that you have to address her as if she's still in the physical, and in the Queen's case, it's Your Royal Highness, the Queen Mum. You cannot forget those three letters when addressing her. Not because it's done, and not just because it's part of royal protocol, but it's out of respect for her and her memory. Just like if you were to walk up to the Queen Elizabeth now, you had to, according to royal protocol, address her by her official title, and of course there are other factors too when it comes to approaching the Queen, and like there's a list of do's and a list of don'ts, and the one thing I thought was so interesting was, I know I saw this on YouTube a while ago, and that is that if you're entering a room where the Queen is, and that it is disrespectful when you walk in, and then to bow, go before her, bow again, and have your little say. But I think you're actually told what to say and what not to say. Keep to the subject, and that's it. But the one mistake a few people have actually made, and they got into a lot of trouble because of it, is not so much what you do when you go in, but what you do when you go out. And this, I think, is really, really big when it comes to protocol. And that is never, ever, ever show your back to the queen. In other words, when you leave, you've got to walk backwards. You always have to have your front towards it. I don't know if it's out of courtesy or out of security, what have you, but back up, and then I guess the guard or whoever it is behind you says, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going, okay, stop, and then they close the doors. And that, yep, actually, yeah, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that a few times, and like I said, I never knew if that was out of protocol or out of security, but I think it's more out of courtesy, and that you going forward, and then you back up, and you walk backwards. Of course, for those who are not sure, for like myself, I'd have to keep looking, make sure I don't trip over anything, and also to have your head bowed out of respect, and once you back up, then you don't touch the doors. Okay, the guards do, and they close them. They close them slowly, and then you're escorted out. At least that's that's what I've seen on YouTube. That's what I've been, the research that I've done, and I know it's pretty amazing the different kind of traditions or whatever that they have over there when it comes to the royal family, and that, and um, there are other rules and regulations that you got to follow, and that I'm not sure what they are, but I was always hoping someday I'd never have a chance to experience that. To see how well I would do walking out backwards. Oh my God. And the one thing I think I would actually say while I was walking backwards, and that is, I would love to say, hoping she would hear it, is thank you, Your Majesty, God save the Queen. I would love to say that. Not just to let her know my respect for her, but also my respect for the monarchy. Just thinking about this, I know it's mind blowing in my opinion. But anyway, people, although there's bound to be some people that disagree with what I'm saying, but with the research that I've done, that's what I've learned, and that, but anyway, I've got a group which I'll put a description, the link below, description, the comments area, and that, and I'll put a link to that group, the Paranormal History of the British Royal Family. Okay, I'll put a link for that in the description below. So if you want to check out that group and join the group, and learn more about not just the Queen Mom and Diana and all these others, but all the other monarchs of the past, and that, because God knows there's tons of them, and spanning, and there's links not just to the UK, but there's links to basically a global thing. But I found the countries that are strongly linked still, at least I believe so, is Canada, Germany, India. I don't know if they're still under the monarchy or not, but in the past there's been strong links to Canada, possibly the US. I'm not sure about that. Germany, India, and possibly certain areas of Africa, and that has strong links to the UK, and to the monarchy, and that. Now, whether that's true or not to this day, I don't know, but it's always interesting to learn little things like that, and that's so. Anyway, people, if you like the stream as much as I did, and then please hit the like button if you liked it. If you didn't like this stream, go ahead and hit the dislike button, but let me know what you didn't like. But for those who did, let me know what you like about this and that. Because like I said, I'm still learning and that. And yeah, well, God bless you too, Tinker. God bless you too, and that. And please subscribe to the channel, hit notification, hit the bell. Thanks every time I go live, you'll get a notification, and that. So it's pretty amazing stuff in that. Oh, by the way, if you ever find any photos or videos of any ghostly activity within, Buckingham Palace or any other estate that they own, and that, if you have anything like that, please post them in the group. Because I would absolutely love to see any videos, photos, apparitions, anything like that, and that's linked to the royal family. And that, I would absolutely love to see that. And if you ever, if you know, this might be rare, but if you ever see, or if you ever come across any EVPs of the royal family, I would absolutely love to hear that. Because I actually found one on YouTube. It's an EVP of Queen Victoria. Now, I haven't listened to it yet, but if I get a chance to, I'll put that in the link in the group. Okay, and it should be pretty amazing to, to hear if anything. But yeah, if you have anything on the British royal family, that'd be amazing. And so, anyway, people, got to go, and that I'll do another stream in another day or two, hopefully. And that, so for my dear friend Tinker, who's in chat, God bless you again. And to anybody else that wants to see this video, thank you for your time. And if you get anything out of this video, beautiful. Okay, so as I say at the end of every stream, and that is love and light to all. Bye bye.